Welcome to the Creators Summit. Creators are the newest generation of entrepreneurs and they are building the next era of small businesses, changing the way we know business. It is my pleasure to be here with these achievers. Introducing our panel for today, Harpreet Suri. She's a mom blogger who's covered extensively online and offline for her revolutionary thought process on parenting. She is the most searched Indian mom blogger on Google. She's covered extensively online and offline, like I said, for her revolutionary thought process, and that brings her to be read and loved across continents, not just moms. Riddhi Deorah is a parenting coach and influencer. She hosts workshops for corporates and monthly masterclasses for parents as well. She is the founder of the Easy Parenting Hub and creates several digital and physical products for parents and children. She has impacted over 20,000 parents. We also have Mitali. Mitali is fondly known as Supermom Mitali, and she talks about her raising her two children along with her two dogs in a city like Mumbai. She's also a plant parent to over 200 plants and is extremely conscious about the environment and is trying to embrace the zero waste life. What a wonderful panel we have here. Lot of questions for you all. You all are content creators, and your journey as parents and journey as discussing your same thoughts to a audience. I can't even say wider audience. I would say the audience is all in your hand across the globe, to a very, very huge audience. So my first question, I'm going to address it to Mitali and Harpreet. Um, how did your journey start for you as a content creator?
Shall I go,
Yeah,
Mitali?
Harpreet. Yeah.
So it's the same cliche answer that I was getting bored in my job. Yes, such hai. I had the most amazing job that one could have imagined. I was launching most international brands that were coming to India. I was a PR head for one of the best malls in the country. I had every single award in my kitty, but somewhere down the line, I was missing raising my children. आप जब बहुत अच्छे लेवल पे आ जाते हो आपको लगता है सब कुछ है आपके पास and when you look back and think that what am I missing in my life was raising my children and the mom guilt was killing me and I just decided that सब कुछ achieve कर लिया है. I think it's right time that I invest in my children and my daughter was just born and I just took a break and this career came by in between to me and I just gave it a go. And nobody believed in me that time. Everybody just thought that photo khichana is a profession, and I just started. I believed in myself, and I just started out. I said, I want to do this only. So it came naturally to me.
Wonderful.
Tell us,
Mitali, what about
Mitali.
you?
Great. I think Harpreet has inspired us all, right? So my journey started because, I was working in the same field. Like 2013-14 is when I had joined this company, and we used to deal a lot with YouTubers. And we were testing out some camera equipment. And that is when the crew said that, why don't you sit in front of the camera? We'll test some equipment and say something. And that time I was a new mom. My older one was just 6 months old. And automatically, all these parenting related things only came to my mind. And they recorded the entire thing. It was a 10-minute chat. And they gave it to me and said, start your YouTube channel, upload it. And I uploaded it, and my journey actually started from YouTube. But when
Wow.
Instagram came in, I came in on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super. Riddhi, I think there's no way I can miss you on this question because it is, how your journey started. So I'll have to take you on this question as well. How was it for
Right.
you?
Yeah, so for me, it was not something that I'd ever planned. In fact, I'm a very shy person and a very close person in my personal life. I didn't want to be on Instagram. I didn't even have an Instagram profile. But when I had my son, I decided, like, I went through my challenges like for 2, 3 months, and that's when I decided that I'm going to start educating myself as a parent. And when I started educating myself, I felt a lot better. I felt that everything had changed so beautifully, and I also practice Buddhism. So, for one of our Buddhism meetings, the topic was the importance of sharing your experience with others. And throughout that meeting, something happened, and I was like, I have to share this with mothers. I just didn't know how I'm going to do it. So I come back home and I tell my husband about it, that this is something that I really want to do, but I just don't know how to do it. And he was like, do it on Instagram because that's where your audience hangs out. I was like, okay, I'm not making my Instagram profile public. But he's also like, he was very persistent and he turned this into a bet. And he was like, we're going to turn this into a bet. We'll keep your profile open for one night. And if you get more than 500 followers the next day, we'll keep it open. If you don't, we'll shut it. And I
Oh,
was
wow.
so sure that I'm not going to get that many followers. I was like, okay, let's do it. And I did that. And next day in the morning, when I woke up, I had some more than 800 followers and some 2,200 notifications. So I had like a few posts on Instagram with my son because I was just using it as a place to dump everything, all my son's pictures and everything. And I had so many messages from parents saying that, this worked for me, ye mere saath bhi hua tha. And, those kind of messages that I could really relate to. And that's how it started. And I love reading, I love writing. So I kept writing, and one thing led to the other, and I kept responding to what the parents asked for. And yeah, I just grew into an Instagram page.
That's super. Very, very cool. Riddhi, I'm back to you. Did you think when you started out, like you said, you weren't really prepared for it? So, did you think that you're going to just start it out as a hobby instead of creating this as a profession, or were clear after seeing all those notifications that this is it?
No, it was never like profession was never there on my mind. I had a fashion label called Riddhi and Revika. So that
Okay.
is what I was doing as my main business. Actually, till 2020, last year, till the COVID happened. Till then, and I was posting on Instagram not very consistently. So I was doing one post in 3 days or sometimes two, three. So, it was more like, whenever I had some thoughts, I used to just write it and express it on Instagram. So that was
Yeah.
a space that I was actually using to vent out. And but when COVID happened, I had to let go of my previous business because I didn't want to expose myself to in and out clients because I have a small child. And that's when I started writing more content on parenting on Instagram because there was very little work to do. So I thought I'm just going to do this because I love reading and writing. And in fact, 2020 is when I shot my first video. So I was not doing any videos before 2020.
Okay.
So yeah, so it just, like for me, I feel that the mothers and the parents have actually designed the whole thing for me. I've only kept responding to what they asked for. So, I started creating digital products because parents asked for it. Then they said physical bhi chahiye. So I was like, theek hai, physical bhi milega. So I made physical. Then recently they said, we want workshops with you. So then I did workshops. And then, then I registered my company because then there was a lot of inflow and then, a lot of things were happening. So I thought it would make sense for me to have everything under a company. So then I
Constructive.
went ahead and registered. So it was more like me responding. And I feel God planned it and the parents planned it. And I'm just working and doing God's work.
Riddhi,
Yes.
we have to do a workshop together very soon.
Yes, definitely, Harpreet. I would love that.
So, Harpreet, what about you? You said you left a job you loved and you really enjoyed it, and you started this. Did you take it as a hobby when you just started it, or were you clear? Okay, I'm moving from one job into entrepreneurship, and this is definitely going to take me forward.
I was one girl who always believed that मैं एक job करती हूँ, मुझे monthly salary मिलती है और मैं बहुत खुश हूँ. Entrepreneurship is not something I could have ever imagined to myself. I'm a zero risk taker. Zero, like zero is the word. I can't take risks. The family I come from is a business family, but I was very opposite child. I always like in mutual funds also. If I do today, I want everything risk free. I'm so careful as a person, and that's why what I've achieved, I've become a mentor for so many young girls because I want to, take them out from there, pull them up and say that let's do this, let's take that risk. I never took it for 35 years of my life. I was a very close person in terms of risk taking. And now I feel so when I started this, it was of course hobby. Of course I thought that I'm also going to be unboxing gifts and talking to moms about what's new, what's latest. But my
Yeah.
channel has totally changed into promoting startups. I'm only now interviewing or getting funds for the startups. So
Yeah.
everything is only, I think it's my job or duty. When I was growing up, Ruchi, in terms of my career, I never had a boss. I was always reporting to the owners of the company.
Okay.
Nobody really held my hand and taught me anything, from even stapling a pin, I mean, like that basic. Nobody taught me anything. I learned all on the go. I just feel that it's my responsibility to, make sure that whoever comes to me for help or who doesn't even come, I want to go and help. So today, my, girls who I mentor, I keep sending them voice notes that put the story down. This is not looking nice. Put it on the right hand side. I feel I'm responsible for all of them. That's why the community is so big for me. They
Yeah.
all call me the grandma. That's why that, isko phone karo or it could be any problem that you have. So it started out like that, but it's turned out in something totally different. Like I never imagined myself as being the grandmom. No, I never thought. But then I absolutely love what I do. And I think I
That's
was made to do this.
it was
So
meant to
for me,
be.
it was I found the purpose of my life.
So, Harpreet, continuing with you. So, how did you identify that, parenting was the blog that you were going to do? I mean, in terms of you could have written about your work or, being into PR, as you said you were. Why did you come to parenting when you had to really talk about your
Um,
life
so when
journey?
Instagram happened, I was in love with Komal Pandey. I'm still in love with her. I love her work. मैंने ना बहुत लोग को follow किया, देखा लोग क्या कर रहे हैं.
Hmm.
And I realized being a parenting blogger, I can do beauty. So I used to get queries on beauty, and I always felt that there are so many great makeup artists. Why would anybody want to learn from me? Or maybe fashion tips, traveling. I had a variety of questions, and I realized what people asked me, and I realized that मैं कुछ भी कर सकती हूँ. In parenting, you can do anything. So that was the best part about parenting. So I became that one stop shop or one handle where you come for everything. So बच्चे का birthday कैसे celebrate करना है? How do you travel with your child? So I never traveled with my younger one, and I always spoke very openly about it. And I spoke a lot on travel, saying that why not travel with a younger one? It was
Yeah.
very revolutionary. Women have not heard of all this.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's fashion, then because obviously I had put on weight. How you dress up for us? So right now my current slogan is normalizing size 12. That it's okay, to not be very skinny and not talking about body positivity. But there's something in between, which is size 10 and 12 and 14. उसको तो कोई address ही नहीं कर रहा है ना. So I realized मैं सब कुछ कर सकती हूँ इसमें. So I was like, parenting it is. That was my thing.
Superb. Mitali, what about you? Why did you think of it as parenting? Why did you, when you started blogging, why did parenting come to your mind first?
Yeah, so actually, I did not want to talk about parenting,
Okay.
but I was thinking that, so many people are doing so much about makeup, hair, fashion, this, that. Why talk about parenting? But that time I was a very new mom. My kid was only 6, 8 months old. And I had read so many books during my pregnancy because I love reading and all. I had a lot of knowledge. And it so happened that, 2, 3 of my friends also conceived at the same time. We had babies at the same time. So all our conversation we used to only be about parenting. क्या खिलाना है, कहाँ लेके जाना है, which new thing has opened. But I realized that, I used to follow these influencers, YouTubers on YouTube, and they were all, based in US, Europe, and all these places. There was no one in India. And I went to a YouTube fest once, and they said, "Arey, like, why are you talking about all these series and makeup and fashion? Because so many people are already talking about it. Talk about parenting because nobody is talking about it in India." And I was like, cool, let's talk about it. And that time, this DID Supermoms was going on. So somebody in my team only suggested Supermom Nom डाल दो. So I was like, हाँ, Supermom Mitali कर देते हैं.
So it pretty much just happened from.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to share
so,
one more thing on this.
yeah.
I have a thought. So, a lot of people told me, if you're doing parenting, why don't you talk about, nuskhe and X, Y, Z? I was like, ये सब तो Google पे मिलता है, कि खिलाना क्या है, पेट दर्द क्या हो रहा है, मुझे ये नहीं करना है. उसके लिए
Yeah.
दादी, I want to believe what my dadi says. I don't want to believe what, sorry, but an Instagrammer says for that. I won't
Yeah.
risk it. तो मुझे समझ में आ गया था, ये नहीं बिकेगा, But ये content बहुत चलेगा, wherein mothers don't know what to do, how to dress for a function once you're feeding, how to, उनकी eyes droop हो गई हैं या skin में वो pigmentation हो गई, अब हम क्या करें? तो मुझे समझ में आ गया था कि this is millennial mom. They
Yeah,
need to know all of this. So ये भी
yeah.
बहुत बड़ा reason था मेरी parenting में, everything to be put together, but in parenting. After
And
every hack after marriage, come to my page. Romancing your husband, turn to your children, how to manage your kids. और उसके लिए तो बस रिद्धि भी है हमारे पास, who is going to guide us. I'm going to really
Yes,
listen to your, sessions now, Riddhi.
thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm inspired.
Mitali, for your transition from blogging to creator, how was that? See, blogging is, a lot of people have personal blogs, but to become then a creator, how did you transition? When did you realize that, okay, this is really turning into my real, a more real than just a chat, or expressing my feelings? Like Riddhi said, I just started writing what I would, post something on Instagram, but converting from a blog, blogging about your child or things, when did you realize that you've
Mm.
become a creator? How was that transition for you?
So, making videos came in naturally because I came from a media background. I came from a radio background, so talking came in very easily. And what I started doing is what we as a company were instructing other influencers to do in their blogs and making videos for them. I took a little cues from them, and then we started making videos. But Instagram as a platform has grown so much, and now with reels coming in, we really have so much to do, right? And now, my earlier I was only talking about kids, but then when I got a dog, I started talking about raising kids and dogs together, because that is a very big topic. And so many people come to me and ask me this question that आपका dog काटता है क्या? So whenever I get all these kind of questions, I take this and I respond to them on via Instagram. So that is how I started making content. Whatever is happening to me is shown via Insta.
So Riddhi, what makes the digital space so interesting as a creator?
Right. So I feel that the digital space is extremely powerful. There's so much that you can do sitting at home. And I
Yeah.
think that one message, one right message, like has the power to change lives. So if you can put one message and you can simplify things for others, I think it's just phenomenal. And I just like the I think the digital space actually has been a blessing. Like we might want to run away from screen time and all of those things, but I think it's so important. Just imagine our kids would not be going to school had it not been for the digital space. And there are so many creators, especially moms. I feel it's so easy for them to sit at home, spend time with children, with their kids, have good family time, and then be able to monetize their time and do something for themselves. So I think it's been phenomenal, and I think the growth and the scope is unlimited. And if you just compare the physical to the digital setup, it's so much better because to house 2,000 people for a physical workshop is so much more expensive. And people have to get ready, they have to travel. Sometimes you also have to fly to different cities to actually attend a workshop or a seminar. But now it's so easy, you just have to log in and that's it. And
Yeah, the
it's going to
world's in your
save you
face.
time, it's going to save
The
you
world
so
is
much
at the
money. And it's just great because and you have access to the best teachers, you have access to the best mentors, you have access to the best information. So I just feel I'm very grateful for the digital space, and it's also a part of my daily gratitude that I'm so grateful that I get to do this. So I think everybody sooner or later has to come and
Use that.
turn digital, even if you have a physical business. If
Yeah,
you're not there on the digital platform, you're definitely going to miss
missing
out.
out.
So the sooner you adapt and the sooner you learn, the better it is. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of business, I feel, eventually.
Of course, it's definitely the way forward, and actually, it's been the way forward for a while now. And like you
Yeah.
said, like let's say Riddhi, we want advice from Riddhi, and she's based out of Gurgaon, and some parent in Bangalore. The kind of advice they're able to get from you now, thanks to how simpler things have become.
Yes.
Um, Harpreet, my next question is directed to you. According to you, what are the three main things one should know before starting out as a creator?
In my mentor workshops that I do, I always tell people, why are you becoming one? You want to open gifts? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
90% people are just want to do that. They don't want
Yeah.
to be a creator. They just want to, get, and it's honestly, and I always counsel girls that, you are ruining it for others. We are creators, and you only want to do this just as a hobby until it's come from within, until suppose this glass, it's like a regular glass, but until you see so much more in this glass, don't get into it. Don't just do something because I want to be in it. You have to visually, imagine things differently. You have to, this space excites me. When I see something, I was in Goa recently, and how I was portraying that, seeing that sunset vis-a-vis my friends, it just comes naturally to you. You just cannot. I think you cannot be a creator just one day you just get up and you be a creator. It has to come from within. So you have to be very true to your art, and see things in a very different way. It's like magic. You are either a magician, or you can either entertain people. You cannot learn the art of entertaining. That comes from within. It's like a job where it's like Bollywood. It just comes within. You cannot learn acting. It comes to you. It's like Ranbir Kapoor. It just comes to you.
Yeah. So, you would say that, think twice before starting out a career
Not
and be
just do
honest.
open gifts. I think we all as creators know, we know so many girls who do that. They just, and in COVID, everybody became a creator. So if you see, everybody is, and मुझे डर नहीं लगता है खरीदेगा कौन अगर सभी creator बन जाएंगे तो who's gonna buy it? And when I see tacky stories, you won't believe I always ping the person that not a good job. That एक brand आपको इतने प्यार से gift भेजता है, इतना कुछ pack करना, courier जाना, there's so much that goes in it, and it's not a good job. So तभी तो ग्रैंड मॉम बोलते हैं ना, सब मेरे को भूल जाती हूँ मैं कि मुझे I have to step back. I'm not supposed to go in, but yeah, I feel very responsible for my community, so it has to come from within. If it doesn't come from within, don't do it. Don't bother.
Fair enough. Riddhi, why is a parenting content creator critical to our internet?
Right. So I just feel that there is a huge need to get good information on parenting. I think, Harpreet mentioned that the content is already there on the internet. But what I believe and I feel that more than the content, the context is more important. So the content is there, and there's like hours of content being uploaded on YouTube. But what matters is who is delivering it and how are you delivering it, whether you're approachable, whether people can absorb the information that you're sharing. So a lot depends on who is, like I might be speaking and somebody else might be speaking the same thing, but the way the audience is going to react to both of us is going to be very different,
How
even if
much
the
to
content
relate
is
to you,
the same,
Riddhi, is much
right?
more. Yes.
Yes, so the context is very important. So I feel that if you have some information that can really help somebody, it's your duty to not be selfish with that information and to go out there and to overcome your fear and anxiety. Like for me, it was a challenge, to be honest, to start off. Like, to get myself out there and to start creating videos. It was not very easy. But now, like once you start doing, you just get into it. And also parenting, like most of the parenting that we know is based on observation, what we saw our parents do. So like there's this school of thought, so we either do what our parents did if we had a good childhood, or we don't do what our parents did if our childhood was not a very great childhood. So we avoid doing all those things that disturbed us while we were growing up. Or if we feel that my parents did this and I'm fine, I'm going to do the same for my child. But the thing is that your traditional parenting based on observation is not enough to answer the modern day challenges, because
Times
there's
have
so much
changed.
more happening. The family size is different. There's screen time, there's social media, and all of this did not even exist when we were growing up. So now the
Right.
challenges are different, the questions are different. So what based on your observation as a child is not enough to make you feel like a confident creative parent. So I feel the minute you step up and start educating yourself, you stop blaming yourself for everything, because otherwise, especially mothers, I feel they blame themselves a lot that I did something wrong. Even if the color of the poop changes, no, parents start blaming, like mothers, what did I eat wrong, what did I do that this happened. But when you start educating yourself, you understand that it's not you, it's everyone. So it's nothing to do with you. You just need to, understand what's happening and then just fix it and move on. So I think education is the only way to empower yourself as parents and to feel more in control of the whole situation. And when anything is in control, you would start to enjoy that a little more. And parenting, I feel, is a lifelong journey. It's not ending anytime soon. So it's really important that we start having a lot of fun and stop stressing about small things. So my whole this one thing that I share with parents, that you are the expert when it comes to your child, but it's important for you to actually, learn something new
Continue
every
learning.
single day, because that's going to help you. And if you can help yourself, that's the only way you can really help your child.
Yeah.
So I feel it's great if you, not just parenting, I feel this is for anything, like any topic you feel you're good at, you should come and talk about it.
Fun. Mitali, how do you select a platform? And how do you, identify the growth plan with it? As a blogger, you said, you first saw a lot of YouTube videos, right? I mean, you were following people. So why did you pick one social media platform from the other? What made you identify that?
So, YouTube, I did start with YouTube,
Okay.
and that time Instagram did exist, but
Okay.
not many people were there on Instagram, and these days were uh, long back. These were all these Facebook days when people still were there on Facebook. They were posting on Facebook groups and pages, and everything existed that time.
Yeah.
With YouTube, what really happened is, we were posting a lot of content regularly, but the growth was not happening. And when Instagram came in, it obviously everybody wants to try out new platforms,
Of
right?
course.
When Instagram came in, and I was still working that time in a ad agency, a lot of people from my agency only started telling me that, Supermom, and everybody started calling me Supermom Mitali only. So they used to say, Supermom, why don't you come on Instagram? And you have such a nice name which you have created for yourself, and we don't, and the growth of Instagram is going to be really great. Facebook is going to take it to the next level and stuff like that. And that is when Facebook had also purchased Instagram. It was bought out by them.
Yeah.
So because coming from an ad agency background, and having so many people know all the inside information really helped me, decide on the platform, because they already knew that, now Facebook is there, but Instagram is going to go big, because that is what they were telling all the brands. So that was the advantage that I had while moving from YouTube to Instagram.
Okay. So coming back to you again, Mitali, um, my question is, how do you handle your topic ideation? Like, what is it that I'm going to talk about? Like Harpreet said, it's of
Hmm.
course not about just opening gifts. So you just don't wait around for gifts to keep coming and just talking about them, right? So you
Right.
must have a plan on, what is the kind of conversations you're going to have. So how do you, plan your topic ideation? Because that is, topics are your main themes as parents, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, as I explained in the last question, also,
Yeah.
whatever keeps on happening in my real life, I talk about it on Instagram. Now, a lot of
Okay.
people ask me plant related questions. So, I've also started talking about it on Instagram. People ask me, how are you raising your kids and these two dogs together? So, I
Mm.
talk about that on Instagram. Now, a lot of people come to me and say, ask me, your transformation journey has been really great, because 2-3 years back, I had my second daughter, and I had put on a lot of weight. And but I never say that बच्चे होने से you become very fat, and your life is over. Instead, I try to help people by saying that my transformation journey was like this. Maybe it'll be easier for you. So whatever happens to me, and whatever I think I should talk about, uh, comes via my posts, my stories, and reels and videos. So I think that is a good content strategy, because we don't have to think so much. Whatever is happening around you, just talk about it.
Okay. Okay. Um, Harpreet, I'll put the next question to you. How do you stand out and differentiate? You said there's so many of them, and you can see them, and of course, sometimes you're wondering why are these people even trying, right? Of course, and you've been there, done that. You've had your crazy posts, not so good posts, fabulous posts. You've had all that journey. So how, now that you've been there for a bit, how do you stand out and differentiate?
So that's for something my audience has to answer, that why they come back to my page, or why do they write questions which are sometimes, they talk to me about everything from sex, from having kids, from makeup, going to a wedding. Sometimes it amazes me how much people, trust me, or I'm ultimately a digital face. Ultimately, I'm just that. I'm just a journalist on TV. But how much they connect and relate to you. There have been incidents with me that I was in London and I got 2 lakh rupees from an ex follower of mine in a Chanel store because they knew that this is the same girl. I was running short of money. It amazes me, Ruchi, how I meet people in different parts of the world, I'm saying, and they connect with you, they follow you blindly. So कुछ तो ठीक ही कर रही होंगी शायद, but I feel maybe my content is as real. I'm sad. So my son was doing really bad in his grades in his school because of digital. I just came out and spoke about it because I felt if it's me, I'm sure there are many moms. And he failed, and I was planning to, make him repeat a class. इस बात को बोलने के लिए ना बहुत guts चाहिए Instagram पे that I'm planning this, and what do you moms think, is it a right decision or not? You know how many mothers came out and who spoke to me on this? Then I did workshop on it, and I keep conducting a lot of workshops of how I'm struggling as a parent or as a wife or as a, I even talk about my staff on my Instagram, and how people come back and they connect to me. I feel very, very strongly for startups. So I started this whole muhim, that stop exploiting startups. Everybody started, this save small business hashtag shuru ho gaya tha. And I just felt so bad that everybody just wanted everything from the startups. We'll give you X, Y, Z, and you give us this product. And I came out and I said that if you want to support startups, start buying from them. Because how much are the products for 200, 300? And so ये सब चीजें आई थिंक मुझे बहुत अलग कर देती हैं. मैं बिल्कुल एक ना मुहिम से चला देती हूँ इंस्टाग्राम पे, and everybody then just follows. And sometimes I feel मुझे इतनी मार पड़ने वाली है ना किसी दिन, because I speak from my heart. I feel
So keeping it real is or what you think is, help you
I'm
keep
very
standing
opinionated, very opinionated. I
and keep
feel
it real.
I have to say it, yeah. If it's wrong.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Um, so what are okay, let me direct this question to Riddhi. Riddhi, how do you handle feedback about your content? Because see, at the end of it, you are talking about, advising on parenting. There could be, of course, opinions are different for everything. But since you're, guiding someone, for which 9 out of 10 parents will feel, oh my gosh, she's hit the right chord, and that's exactly how we feel, and maybe we're going to try. But parenting is like everyone becomes a guru, when it comes to parenting. So, how do you handle feedback from the content that you put up to your audience?
Right. So that's a very beautiful question, actually, Ruchi. So, like with parenting, I think you have to be very sensitive about and very careful about what you're putting out there. So so with my content, there are so many people who've actually reached out to me and asked me, like, can we help you with your content? And that is something that I don't let anybody else interfere with, because especially when it's something so sensitive as parenting. So I'm
Yeah.
okay with you doing my graphics. I'm okay with you doing the photo shoot, editing, and everything because you're an expert there. But the content is something that I don't like anybody else to take care of. So you have to be very sensitive. But even after you do all your checks and you feel you're not offending somebody, or there are parents who sometimes give you comments like it's easy to say but it's difficult to do.
Yeah.
And then you get like on Diwali, because I'm somebody who's completely against the idea of burning crackers, and they're like, apne to bachpan mein, like, we did it and now we are stopping our kids from doing it. So
Yeah.
like whenever I get a negative feedback, I don't feel bad about it, because just like I'm going and speaking about what I stand for and I advocate, they're speaking about what they stand for and
Fair.
what they advocate. So there's nothing for me to feel bad about it or get offended about it. And I'm completely like, I have the same love and respect for anybody who puts a negative comment under my post. whether it's positive or negative. I take, I don't really worry about the comments too much. I just feel that, I'm doing my work when I'm going and sharing something that I stand for, something that I feel might add value to my to my followers or people who really trust my work. So I'm very neutral when it comes to feedback. I don't get overly excited when I get really good positive feedbacks. And honestly, I've got very little negative feedback. It's very less. Like, this cracker post would be one. Or, sometimes parents, this, that, it's easy to say, difficult to do. And my only thing that, I would say is that, when you know better, you can do better. If you don't know better, you can continue doing what you know. But if you know better, it's your responsibility to do better. So, when we were growing up, nobody really educated us about, the ill effects of burning crackers. And that's why we are sitting with such, like a polluted city. So maybe, if that, and, it's already gotten so difficult. Just imagine 20 years down the line, how difficult it's going to be. It's just going to keep getting worse if we keep doing what we were doing. So the only way to improve is to start improving what you've, start correcting what you've done. And now that, there are people who are trying to educate you, it's important that you absorb and you step up and you start behaving better. But again, I'm not a moral police, I'm not a moral instructor. I'm just going to go and share information. If you like it, you take it, you absorb it, you use it. If not, you're free to reject it. So I feel, for me, as far as feedback is concerned, I'm very neutral. In fact, when I got that negative feedback, there were so many parents who were writing, I feel so bad for you on Diwali. People are writing such hate messages under your posts. And I was like, there's no need to feel bad, because I'm absolutely normal and I'm having a great Diwali. I'm not even thinking about it. So please don't feel bad. And I honestly, I have complete respect and love for anybody, because it needs courage to even stand against something. So if
Someone.
they are showing that courage, I have respect for them.
So I'm going to throw the last question out to all three of you, and you can pick whoever wants to start with the first answer. For a starting out content creator, what is your advice?
People forget. I'll whatever I think I'll share.
Yeah.
People forget what they want to do. They do what X person is doing. So I love Komal's content. I'm obsessed with Komal Pandey's content. मुझे हर रोज रात को वो देख के मेरा नींद ही नहीं आती. I love what she creates, but I cannot do it. I can admire it.
Mm.
Admire whoever you like, but create what you are best at. I'm
Mm.
not best at, posing in a certain way, but whatever best I'm at, maybe it could be a smoky eye, it could be a XYZ dress, but how I can beautifully do it and not get in the pressure of what everybody else is doing. जिस दिन हम ये कर लेंगे ना, आधा Instagram वैसे filter out हो जाएगा. अभी हम सब लगे
Mm.
हो. So we're just copying. No. Where's your originality? It could be, I see such lovely content creators who are very, very young. And that's why I want to invest in them, because I see they're so original. I create these series, with food content creators or travel
Mm.
content creating series with them. And they're very, very small, like 2,000 followers, 3,000 followers, but they're so original. So you're only going to go ahead if you are really original with your content, right? There's no point copying.
Well said.
Right.
Mitali, Riddhi, what are your thoughts?
Riddhi, do you want to start or
Yeah.
should I go?
Yeah. Okay, Mitali, you can go.
Yeah, so now these days a lot of brands. So some of my friends have startups, and some people who also want to become creators now because COVID में कुछ दूसरा करने के लिए नहीं है. So the first thing that I ask them is, what do you want to do? You know, so do you want to talk about fashion? Do you want to talk about kids? Do you want to talk about fitness? And they say, हाँ हम लोग सब कुछ करेंगे. So I correct them saying that सब कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. Is one person can't do anything. One person can't be a good cook, can't look nice, will be a CEO in office, and everything together. So pick something which you are really good at. Suppose somebody is really good at gardening. So pick that to represent yourself on Instagram, and then tweak it, saying that okay, I'm great with plants, but guys, see, today I'm joining a new gym, and make it as real and as relatable as possible. And Harpreet, I wanted to say this to you that time is why so many people are reaching out to you is because whatever you're putting out is real, is not fake. It's you are not trying to be someone, you're not trying to be xyz, you are yourself. And also your good vibes. I feel that when I see some new profile while researching for travel content or this or that, is your vibes come even through Instagram. So if you are just promoting any product because they are paying you an x amount of money, that vibe will come out. So it's either you don't do it at all or do it with all your heart. Is that is something which content creators need to talk about, or think before starting a channel. And it should never be a copy or a me too version of anyone. Somebody is dancing, I'm not good at dance, so dance is something which I've never done. It's not good to put out bad content on Instagram. And sometimes it's also happened with me that I have shot a lot of workout videos, but they don't look good on reels or on Instagram, so I have scrapped that. So that is something which you need to see, and you need to be your own worst critic also. Don't look at the content on the day that is shot. See it after 3-4 days, even with the photos and stuff like that. And it's also very important to put out personal content. It cannot just be about opening one box today, another box tomorrow, promoting brands. Because is that the reason why you joined Instagram? No, right? It's to
Yeah.
inspire others. And your aim should be clear in your mind. It should not be only पैसा कमाने के लिए यहाँ पे आ गए या डांस करने के लिए आ गए. Your
Yeah.
reason should be clear.
Yeah. Over to you, Riddhi.
Yes. So for me, like, I'm just going to share what I did when I started. So first, I think you need to have some clarity about who you're going to speak with. So, like a customer avatar. So I exactly know who I'm speaking to. It's a girl called Juhi, and she lives in Bangalore, and she has 2 kids, and everything, and she's making X amount of money every year, and these are the challenges that she's going through, and this is what she needs help with. So, I have a complete picture. So, if you are planning to be a creator, first get clarity about who you want to speak with. That would be my first. Second would be think about ways in which you can really add value to her life. How can you make it a little simple for her? So, I have this, at least 4 out of 7 days, I try to put a nice message in the morning where I really make them feel good about themselves in the morning, or inspire or try to motivate them to do something challenging during the day. Because I feel when you start your day right, it stays with you. That energy stays with you throughout the day, and you feel good about yourself throughout the day. So try and add some value to their life, because if you do something that really helps them, they are not going to leave you forever. So they'll stick around and they'll really stay with you. That's the second. And then the third, which I think Mitali and Harpreet have already mentioned, is be authentic, be real, and do what you feel for. So like, actually I did go through this. So initially when I started for inspiration, I started looking at a lot of mom influencer pages, and I saw that the content was more skewed towards lifestyle, and I thought yahi chalta hai, and this is what works. And what I started doing was I started being somebody that I wasn't, and I'm being very upfront and open about it. And even half an hour of me getting ready and getting shot in something nice was very difficult for me, because that wasn't me. And now I'm spending 20 hours reading, writing, and creating content, but it's not exhausting, because this is something that I
You
love doing.
enjoy.
Yes, I
Comes
enjoy
from
doing
within.
this. Yes, exactly. And now, and I've realized that people don't really care about how you look, how your hair is, whether you're wearing the best dress in the world. They really don't care.
I hear
And
you.
all they really care about is whether you're being able to influence and sort of improve their life in some way.
Add
So I
value to
think
them.
exactly. So focus more on the people that you're speaking to and less on your personal life space. A little bit of that is also needed, like a break, I feel, but it should be more focused on the audience and less focused on you. So if you can make that shift, I feel it works beautifully. What do you
Fabulous.
think?
So, I'm very excited how the She the People Creator Summit is, with three wonderful creators who are telling everyone time and again that the only way to do this is really to stay real. Be real, don't be another version of yourself. Don't try to be a creator, be yourself, and you'll be able to create what you really, are all about. And that's the only way to do this.
In the long
Uh,
run, Ruchi, only that's gonna
yeah.
help. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
Absolutely.
ladies. It was wonderful having you. And continue doing what you do. Stay real, and enjoy yourself as we can see you all do while you're on your blog. And we're looking forward to having another chat with you sometime soon.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Thank
definitely.
you so much for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.